Hi DT, so this is the block bot modelling. So you've done your mood board, gathered some ideas, and I've seen some great ideas from you all. Um, and then you've done your sketching of your block bots and trying to sort of figure out um, how you can sketch out what they're going to do. Okay, so this is the time for a bit of modelling. All right, it's worth having a go at this before you get onto your cube, your wooden cube. So we've got these nets here. Okay, that's a big one for his head and body, and then smaller ones for the feet and hands. Now I'm just going to focus this video on the head. Okay, just to give you an idea. So this takes a bit of thinking and a little bit of, concentration and whatnot. All right, so the first thing you need to do is you need to cut out this net as carefully and as accurately as you can. All right, so if you're not great with scissors, practice. I've said it in so many of my videos. All right, the thing to do here is practice. You're not going to get better at something unless you practice. All right, so if you're not very good at it, just take some deep breaths. Okay, don't put yourself under pressure, but you just got to know that the more you try, the better you will get. Eventually, it might take weeks or months or even years. All right, but it's worth it in the end because you'll get better and you'll realise that, and you'll be able to do things. All right, so I just want to remind you of, there he is, Mr. T. Okay, so it's Mr. T. I'm not going to do the Hulk who's over there. You can see his green hand coming in. I'm going to do Mr. T. All right, and so anyway, we'll bring him up. So that's his face. Okay, so the first thing I've got to do, I'm just going to show you. I've got to decide which one of these squares, because this, when you cut this out, is going to make a cube. All right, which one of these squares is going to be Mr. T's face? Well, I've decided to go that way up. All right. Just a quick reminder, there he is. I'm not doing his body. I'm not doing any of this today. I'm just going to try and do his head. All right. So that's easy enough. I'll choose one of these squares and put his face on. And just like last time, I was going to do him brown. But because this is going to be his head, right? All of it's his head. All of this is his head. So I'm colouring his head brown. These bits here are the tabs. Doesn't matter if you get pencil on them, but you don't need to colour them. Now you might find it easier. So just a bit of thinking though. Right, so the whole thing brown. All right. So that's straightforward. This is his face. I'm going to make this big one in the middle of his face. All right. So his beard. All right. So I'm going to do his beard like this. Yeah, can you see that? Alright, so you might notice when I'm colouring in, I'm keeping the pencil movements all in the same direction. Because what that will mean is, his beard, I better leave a little spot for his mouth there. Alright, that's his sidebird, he doesn't have that's it. Maybe a bit thicker moustache. There, how's that? That's not bad, is it? Alright. I'm just going to use a regular pencil. Oh, I forgot his little Mohican thing. Alright, which is going to be sort of up there. All right, and if you notice on the picture that I drew, I thought maybe I could stick some on top, and I might do that yet. But right now, I'm just going to focus on colouring. Okay, so I can't colour in a blob like that. For it to go up in the air like that, I'll have to stick something on his head when I'm finished. But here he is. Okay, so I'm just going to put some eyes and nose so we can. So we've got some. I'm just going to give him some eyes like that, and a nose. It's not brilliant, is it? Not a brilliant face, but you can see it's a face. Let's give him some eyebrows. That might help it stand out a little bit. How's that? That's not bad. All right. Now, comes the tricky bit. That's his face. So that's going to be the top of his head. You've got to try and imagine folding this over into a cube. So that's the top of his head. And those are the sides of his head. All right. So I was getting myself a little bit, I found this hard to think about. So what I did was, I actually cut one out. All right, so I could start folding it to get an idea of what's going on. All right, so I'm going to just quickly show you, because this is getting a long video again. So there he is. Now, it looks a bit weird, doesn't it? But this is the top of his head, so I know that when he's folded up like that, look, that's his Mohican there. And I had to keep folding it and unfolding it. All right, and then I think, what's the side of his head look? And I did look at the video I did look at the pictures on the internet just to check what his head looks like. Yeah, and it goes around the side, and there's his mohawk on the top. All right, so that's the bottom of his head there. Yeah, his chin and neck and all that, which you're not going to see, so that's less. But this is the crucial bit. Look, this bit is the back of his head. Yeah, it's a bit fiddly with paper. It'll be easy. But can you see? So what I've got to do, I've got to remember that. Well, it's gone a bit funny here, but you're getting the idea. Hang on. Oh, come on, Mr. Sweeney. There we go. Can you see? I've got to do his hair around the back and his mohawk. God, this is hard. I'll tell you what, this is hard to do on him. And his mohawk has got to come down the back here as well. Okay, so I'm just going to try and keep that in my mind's eye as I open it out again and go. It was this way round, wasn't it? That was the back of his head there. Yeah. But I'm going to just do it a bit like that. I can measure it up properly when it's done. And his mohawk comes down like that. Okay. So. Okay, so I've just started folding it. I'm gluing him. I just left the last little bit. So there he is, Mr. T. There's the side of his head. There's the top of his head. Now I just wanted to demonstrate. Look, those are the tabs. See those white things? And then I've put a little bit of glue on them. And they're going to be the things. They tuck inside. There's 3 of them on this one. They tuck inside, and they're the things. It's a bit tricky with paper. But if I just press gently, look, you've got to be gentle, or the whole thing's going to squish. And if you're getting cross with it, it's going to be the easiest thing in the world just to squish it up and throw it away, and all your hard work. All right, so if you get cross, try to take some deep breaths and just take it easy. Okay. So anyway, there he is. There's Mr. T. Now look, watch. If I turn his head